Okay, so my table that I am going to be doing my readings on in future hasn't been set up yet because we're waiting on the carpet to be fitted in here, so I'm having to do it on the bed. So I apologise for the bubbly bed cover. I really apologise for that. You'd think by now I'd be more professional. Anyway, so what I'm going to be looking at first is how the Queen and Charles felt about Christmas, about Harry not being there, and just see what else comes up around that. So let's just give them a shuffle. Okay, so one's come out already. Okay. Let's get some cards. Okay, so these are the cards that we have. Now, the Five of Swords, which was the first one that came out, shows that they were really, really unhappy with the situation. There was a lot of crosswords said. There was a lot of anger. There was a lot of slamming things. You know, it was not taken very well at all. And the Queen is represented by the Empress, and you know, she was the more composed one, would we say, you know, but there's, you know, the Queen, she appears very stoic, but there's a lot of fire burning underneath that cool exterior, and I do feel as though she was livid, she was enraged by it, but she had to keep a strong front on it. And it's interesting because in the Queen's speech at Christmas, there's no picture of Meghan, Harry or Archie, so it was kind of a foreshadowing, and the sense that I get is that Meghan and Harry were jumped before they were pushed, essentially. And the thing is, the Eight of Wands reversed, it shows that news not being well received. So basically, it's kind like, when it's upright, it's like a showering of love, but in reverse, it's like being hit by 1,000 arrows at the same time, so it really wasn't well received. You know, the Five of Wands, I feel in this situation, Harry kind of just went along with it because he didn't want the confrontation, he didn't want to have to deal with the backlash, so he just went along with it. You know, what's interesting here with the Princess of Pentacles, it kind of looks a bit like Meghan, and the fact that it's in reverse, you know, when it's upright, it's all about learning a lesson, you know, it's about respecting an institution. You know, it's really about learning from past mistakes, and this clearly shows, you know, that they feel she hasn't learned a damn thing. She's just carrying on the way she wants to carry on, and she has no consideration for his family, you know, in this situation. And she may lead people to believe that it's about her son. It's not. It's entirely about her. She's doing whatever she wants to do. And what really annoys me is people saying, well, she should be able to do what she wants to do. But the thing is, the life that she's chosen, you cannot just do that. It's called respect, you know. And the fact of the matter is, the Queen only found out a few days before Christmas because Harry wouldn't return her calls. He wouldn't return her calls about the situation, so she was under the impression that, you know, they were still coming, everything was going ahead as planned, and then when they found out, she felt incredibly betrayed, she felt stabbed in the back. You know, she just felt as though everything was crumbling around her. You know, everything that she thought she knew her grandson, and she feels like she doesn't know him anymore. You know, it's very self-serving of Meghan. You know, she's very, what's the word? She's just interested in her own needs. You know, her own. But that's the way she's always been. She's been brought up to be that way because there's a huge age gap between her and her siblings, and her father kind of let her do whatever she wanted, and her mother was never really around, so he kind of, you know, let her do whatever she wanted because of that. You know, financially she had everything she wanted, and she's very, very money orientated even now, you know, and it's evident. Oh, look, the devil card again. You know, she's getting some more cards on this particular situation. Okay, so I've got some more cards down now. So the devil is Meghan in this situation, you know, and she does have this kind of black magic, but what she doesn't realise is that the royal family have their own kind of magic. And, you know, it's difficult for people to believe that magic is a real thing, but it is. It is something that exists. It's not something just in fairy tales. It is something that exists, you know. The royal bloodline have been in place for thousands of years. Of course they have powers and, you know, things that other people can't see. And the thing is, Meghan thinks that she's winning, you know, and the Eight of Cups reverse shows there's no love lost for her at all. She's happy to walk away. She doesn't care. She's not bothered at all. You know, the Queen, the world that the Queen knows has been completely flipped on its head by this woman, you know. And the Three of Cups in reverse, when it's upright, you know, it's all about happy families celebrating together. She feels betrayed, you know. The family is being split apart, you know, and this is something that she's seen coming for quite a while. And the Seven of Wands, you know, in this picture, this man is just kind of batting away all of these issues, and Meghan has created this image of herself where she feels that the whole world is against her and she's batting away all these problems, but she doesn't seem to realise that she's creating this situation for herself. And that is the thing with narcissists. They don't look at the world around them, they look at their own world and what they want from the situation, you know. And I do feel the Queen was extremely upset about that because, you know, even though Harry, you know, Harry's her favourite grandson, you know, and she did feel like a mother to him for a lot of his life. You know, that's no disrespect to Princess Diana, you know. Once she'd passed, obviously the Queen stepped into a motherly role, you know. And Princess Diana, by the way, this whole situation, you know, she isn't happy about it either because she feels as though her son's being taken advantage of. You know, he's being manipulated because he's a sensitive boy, you know, by a woman who isn't naive. You know, Princess Diana, you know, sometimes I'll ask Spirit to connect me with people. You know, and I did connect with her briefly, and, you know, basically what she said is that Princess Diana, when she was young, she was very naive. She wasn't brought up into that world. She didn't know how to handle it. You know, she respected the fact that her sons were members of the royal family, and, you know, she allowed Charles to bring them up for the most part, but she wanted them to have some more normalcy. But what she says about Meghan is Meghan was brought up into this world. She's played it into her own hands for so long. She's doing the same thing with Harry and with Archie, you know, and she's very wary of her, and she wants people to recognise, you know, that she is devious and that she's doing this completely for herself. And she compares herself to Princess Diana, and, you know, Princess Diana laughs at this a little bit, and, you know, she thinks, why would anyone want to be like me? Why would anyone want to put themselves in that situation? This girl knows what she's doing, and she enjoys the limelight, she enjoys the drama, which is why she's doing all of these things. Why else would she, on two important, you know, occasions for other royal family members, for example, Eugenie's wedding, she announced she was pregnant, which we all know she wasn't really pregnant, but they had a surrogate. And on Kate's birthday, announced that they want to leave the royal family. She does this on purpose to take the limelight from people she feels threatened by, because that's the kind of woman that she is. And if people still refuse and are unable to see that, then I feel sorry for them, because they're going to live the rest of their lives blinded to the truth, you know. And people, you know, they may not believe in tarot or magic, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It also doesn't mean that Meghan Markle is not a horrible person, because she is, and it's evident, you know, on more than one occasion it's evident that she's a horrible person. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm really sorry, my nose, I'm still a little bit sick, so my nose is running quite a bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at the situation with them moving to Canada. So did they jump before they were pushed? Okay. I just really wanted to do this video because it's really bothering me. Okay, so as you can see here, the Hanged Man and the Queen of Swords is interesting because the queen would be the one to cut the rope, essentially, if she wanted to, but she's kind of let them hang themselves. The King of Pentacles here, this represents Harry, and it shows that he's turned his back on his family and his commitment to the royal family, and the Sun in reverse, it shows that, these decisions have been made without him being happy about it. It shows sadness and grief and depression and things like that. And the Queen of Cups reversed is Meghan. The Queen of Cups upright is a woman who's in control of her emotions. She respects family. She understands tradition. She understands, that there are things outside of her control that she just has to let go and respect. But the fact that it's in reverse shows that she's very emotionally manipulative. She uses blackmail to get what she wants. She'll use her child willingly to get what she wants, and paints this picture of this really hard life, and they're never out of the limelight, which is actually bull, because they've not even been in the limelight for the past 6 or 7 months. It's all fabricated by her so that she's still relevant, and this is all for her, because before she met Harry, she was living in Canada with Corey, whatever his surname is. He was living a boyfriend. Then Harry came to town. She went on dates with Harry. She cheated on Corey to be with Harry. And then she told people she didn't know who Harry was. How could you not know who Prince Harry is? I'm sorry, you live in a first world country. Even people living in bloody Alaska, Antarctica know who Prince Harry is. It's ridiculous, the lies that she comes out with, and this Three of Wands is her he's like, oh, me, Harry and Archie against the world, that's all it is. It's all for show, and the Queen of Swords, she may appear to be quite cruel, but she's actually very logical. She knows everything that's going on around her. She's not stupid. She's protecting herself and her family, and she was ready to cut the rope. But, Meghan's kind of done that already because she wanted to be the one to do it. And that's what it's all about, really, is Meghan's control over Harry. And people can believe what he wants, saying he's a grown man, he's got a brain of his own. But he's under her spell. She's cast black magic on him to get what she wants, he's got his mother's wild streak, But at the end of the day, he also has a lot of her naivety, her sensitivity, the fact that she was manipulated by people, he's being manipulated too. And people always seem to think that because, men don't get manipulated by women. It's not true. It happens all the time. And people need to stop making that assumption that men don't get manipulated by women, because they most certainly do. They 100% do. And he's completely turned his back on his family. He's just said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm cutting all ties with you. Blah, blah, blah. And the fact of the matter is here, he is being a fool, because he's just kind of not really thinking about the consequences of this, and he's just going along with the pussy power because she's pussy whipped him. And he's, obviously she must be really good at sex for him to still be carrying on with this charade. And the Four of Wands in reverse, it shows that his family, everything he's known is broken. He's turned his back on it completely. And I just want to make this abundantly clear. This isn't my opinion. This is what spirit are showing. This is what the universe is showing the situation to be. I don't have any influence over the cards. And I just want to make people aware of that, And it's so hard to try and explain to people why you don't like someone on a soul level. You can feel they're a bad person because they're like, oh, well, don't believe the media, don't believe this, don't believe that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, but if it's someone you dislike, you'll believe them, won't you? And it's not about that. It's actions. It's things that I've seen. I know on a gut level there's something very wrong with that woman. She's just evil and nasty, and people can say whatever they want about me. They control me, they can judge me, making very personal judgments about me because I express dislike for someone who's in the public eye. And that's what happens when you're in the public eye. It just, I've never really felt this much dislike towards someone in the public eye. I mean, I feel dislike towards people. For example, Katie Price. I just feel sorry for her more than anything. I think she's a very sad person. I think she needs some serious psychological help. I feel she needs a lot of healing. She was hurt at a very young age, and unfortunately she's carried that with her into lots of different marriages, and her children are being affected by it. She's narcissistic, yes, she is narcissistic, but it's more of a sadness with her than anything. Whereas with Meghan Markle, there's no sadness there. She's completely devoid of emotion. It's all about what makes her look good. Like this apparent women's charity, she did it because she knew it would make her look good. And people would think she's this great person. That's why a lot of narcissists are doctors and things like that. Because it makes them look like a good person, but it's really about how it makes them feel about themselves. And a lot of YouTube stars are actually narcissists as well, because it's all about them and the attention they get. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles here. Why is this Queen of Pentacles here? Okay. Right, so these three cards here, the Queen of Pentacles, the Eight of Pence reversed, and the Nine of Wands, this is the image that Meghan is trying to portray of herself, which is that of a good mother. She's putting her family first. She's taking care of her family's needs, as well as taking care of herself. But the fact that the Eight of Pentacles is reversed, it shows that she's actually incredibly lazy. And that's not what it's about at all. Okay. Let me just get some more cards. So, why are they moving to Canada? What is this about? What is she trying to achieve from this? She wants to break up the monarchy. She wants to take Harry away from his family. She wants all this pity, all this, empathy and sadness for her. She's just trying, she's trying to break free of people's judgment, which is a load of crap, and we know it is. She's just trying to completely disrupt the monarchy, and she's breaking up her family for what? She's breaking up her family, basically, so that she could feel more balanced in herself, so she could feel better about herself and happy and comfortable. Harry here is the Prince of Cups reversed. He's not happy. He's devastated. He's completely emotionally distraught by this. Does she care about Harry's feelings? Does she care about Harry's feelings? Okay. So, it's kind of like she has a split personality, because she pretends to care about him, but the Nine of Pentacles shows that it's literally all about her. It's about her saving face. It's about her making money. It's about her being in the limelight. It's not about him. It's not about Archie. It's about her and her alone. And that's it. The Princess of Cups here, it's in Standard Deck, it's the Page of Cups. So it's like, okay, yeah, she cares a little bit about Archie, but really it's all about her. It's about herself and her needs and her wants. The Nine of Pentacles is a woman, basically, who has made her own money, usually represents fame, famous women. They've made their own money. They live alone, they do everything for themselves. the self-sufficient. And this is all about her. It's about her needs and her wants. It's not about anybody else's. It's all about her. That's what it's always been about. It's about her. And the Ten of Wands, it's the fact that she felt too pressured having to listen to what somebody else wants all the time, somebody else's protocol, somebody else's needs and wants, because she's a selfish person and she always will be a selfish person. Harry was born into it. He's used to it. He's never going to disrespect his grandmother, but he's disrespecting her now because of Meghan, and Meghan's putting all these thoughts into his head that this life is too much for him. He was in the public eye, but he was never really that much in the public eye. It was always William and Kate, because they're the heir to William's the heir to the throne. It's just all this bullshit that she's made up. She's planted these thoughts in his head. The Two of Swords can mean planting thoughts in people's heads so that she can live the life that she wants. And I guarantee, she would drop him. Yep, see? She would drop him when she gets the nearest opportunity, when she doesn't need him anymore, and I don't really feel she's happy in this union either. There's nothing to gain from this apart from, how much she can manipulate him. She doesn't really respect him that much at all. This is literally all about her. Okay, so what's the future of Harry and Meghan's relationship? Okay, this is interesting. So for a little while, you see, the thing is, I don't even think this is Harry. I think this is her. She's calling all the shots here because that's what the Emperor does. The star is her wish is coming true. She's probably going to get back on TV. She'll never make it to film. And if she does, it won't be a big starring role. So she's going to get back in the limelight the way that she wants. They're going to be away from their troubles, or at least that's what she thinks. But the Seven of Pentacles is like, there's no real future in that at all. It can only last a short period of time. Harry eventually is going to, stand up for his son and realise that this kind of lifestyle is ridiculous and wrong. And I really don't think it's going to end well at all. The Page of Swords reversed is someone who goes against all logic, who goes against all instruction and just does whatever the hell they want. And Meghan's the Emperor here. She's calling all the shots. She's making out that she's doing it for other people's best interest, but it's really all about her. Okay, so future of their relationship. Can you show me, please? Okay, so again, in this situation, the king represents Meghan, and when it's reversed, it shows someone who's very cruel, very manipulative, very demanding. The lots of name calling, lots of physical abuse, someone who has no respect for Harry whatsoever, and the Wheel of Fortune's going to turn against them. And unfortunately, I really feel this relationship, this marriage, is going to break down. He's going to walk away. The King of Wands, is a man who, he's been through a lot. He's been burnt a lot in his life, and he doesn't really want to settle down. And I feel like this experience is going to really tarnish him and scar him. And, let's find out what will happen with Archie. See, the Seven of Swords, lies and secrets. I feel like Harry is going to wise up to her game. He's going to try and take Archie back to the UK to be with his family. I just feel like, literally in my head, she's like a screaming banshee. That's just how I imagine her dealing with things, because she's just not a grown-up person at all. The Seven of Swords is someone sneaking away, thinking that they're getting away with what they're doing. But I do feel like that, you know, the truth is going to be revealed. I feel that the truth about Archie's birth is going to be revealed as well. The fact that he was born by surrogate, you know, he wasn't born from her body. I feel lots of things are going to come out about this. You know, the Queen of Wands again is a woman who's very immature. A lot of these queens are in reverse because it shows how immature she actually is. And with her being a Leo as well, it doesn't surprise me that that's shown up. Six of Pentacles in reverse, basically she's going to take him for all of his money. So she has all this money, and he'll be left with nothing. But of course he can always go back to his family if he's even accepted back into his family fold, you know, and they'll look after him. But literally she just wants to take everything away from him because she's a very bitter, jealous person, and she's just using him to get what she wants, basically. So that's the situation at the moment in a nutshell, and what's going to come from this. I hope you like the video. I am still doing readings as always. I will add the price list into the description box. But thank you for taking the time to watch today. I hope that I've explained this enough. Please let me know if you'd like me to cover anything else on my readings. I'm always happy to take suggestions, and I am going to try and record at least one video a week now that, you know, we're actually all moved in and I've got time to be able to do it. You know, I'd really love to be able to do that for you guys, you know. And just remember that it's okay not to like someone if they're a bad person. That's just your gut telling you that something's wrong about that person. And if they happen to be of a different race, that's okay. But it's not okay to dislike someone purely because they're of a different colour. I just want to make that clear. Okay? But I wish you, you know, I hope all of you have a happy new year. I wish Harry and Archie the best of luck. I don't wish her any luck because she doesn't deserve it. You know, she deserves to suffer for what she's done to people her entire life. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys again soon.